Now, before we proceed with the text, let us quickly see the paintings of Huta for this canto. Above the cherished head of Satyavan, she saw not now face dark and little orb, a golden circle round a mystic sun, disclosed to her newborn protecting sight, the cyclic rongeur of a sovereign life. Cyclic rongeur of a sovereign life. Now, of course, the text says, above the cherished head of Satyavan, cherished head of Satyavan, she sees the halo, the rongeur, totality. But what we have in the painting is on the around the halo of Savitri, you see. Yeah, you see. This is, yeah, see, this is the problem, this is the difficulty, you see. And you are not supposed to criticize this, you see. Yeah. But it's very clear. It has to be above the head of Satyavan, not Savitri, you see. I can understand Savitri having a halo, you see. But here the picture should be Satyavan's, in fact. Once she sat in deep, felicitous muse, and abyss yawned suddenly beneath her heart. A formless dread is what we're going to see shortly. A formless dread. It's the same painting basically, but formless dread around her. Black. Do you see a difference between this painting, the eyes in this painting, and the eyes in this painting? Why I'm pointing out is because these things are happening almost immediately, one after the other, paintings. The passages, this is, see for instance now, this is 31, this is 18, and this is 10. In 10 sentences, the eyes are changed, you see, which is not true, you see. Yeah, then this one. Then from the heights a greater voice came down, the word that touches the heart and finds the soul, the voice of light after the voice of night. O soul, bear not thy kingdom to the foe. She is told, she is given advice, Savitri. So you have got now here the streaming voice. The next painting is, thus spoke the mighty and uplifting voice, and Savitri heard. She bowed her head and mused, plunging her deep regard into herself, in her soul's privacy, in the silent night. She is plunging into her own soul. Her body's thoughts climbed from her conscious limb. See, most of these paintings, all these paintings, belong practically to the earlier few sentences of the canto. Just few sentences. Suddenly now you have got another one coming late in the canto. In other words, there is a big gap between the text and the paintings. Here the description is that thoughts, in the case of yogi, they either arise from his subtle body or they come from the cosmic plane. They come from the cosmic field or they arise from his subtle body. So here her limbs, brow, breast, belly, everything, from there the thoughts are arising from the subtle body. You can see all these thoughts coming out from various centers of her subtle body. Thoughts either rise from the subtle body or they come from the cosmic field and enter in us. They come how? They either come as eagles sweeping down, or they come like golden fishes swimming in water. And then Savitri almost to the end, she was advised, she was told, she was given the command that she should annul herself, that only God may be. Nothing of Savitri, nothing, only God be. Is what we have got here. Then all grew still, nothing moved anymore. Immobile, self-wrapped, timeless, solitary. A silent spirit pervaded silent space. Now here you see, in one place in Savitri, you can see now here wrapped. I repeat, rapture, wrapped. Sometimes when you are dictating the line, this wrapped gets confused with WRAPT, wrapped, what we saw. And it has happened in one case in Savitri. And then what remains is finally unutterably effaced. Savitri is no more Savitri now at all. She has become impersonal. She has become non-being. Nothing of Savitri remaining as a person, as a being. Unutterably effaced, no one and null, a vanished vestige like a violet trace, a faint record merely of a self now past. So, what is that? Only kind of. She was a point in the unknowable, and the description goes on. Just a trace, you see, violet trace. So that is what Savitri has become. In fact, the text says, formless liberation came upon her. Formless liberation came upon her. Form is not there. Impersonal she has become. Totally. Yeah, well, these are the few paintings pertaining to this canto. How many? 8 paintings pertaining to this canto. So now we can go to the text. A calm sun looked down from tranquil heavens. We have seen last time that Savitri felt as if whatever had to be achieved was achieved. But then she was told, sorry, Savitri, not yet, not yet. What more, still more must be there. You see, he says that. You have answered the no, what about the yes? You have found your soul, the divine force is housed in your soul. Fine, excellent, very good. But that is not sufficient. That is the beginning. That is the necessary condition to go ahead, to move forward. Finding the soul, establishing the divine power in the soul is very good, well done. Most of the previous spiritual sadhanas get close with that. The divine soul is residing in the psychic soul here, and nothing happens. But then what about the outer nature, the physical nature, the body? The inner is conquered, but the outer has remained outer. It is still subject to ignorance, falsehood, death, pain, suffering. All those things are still there for the outer. So it is not only discovery of the soul which is going to do the thing for you. You have to also worry about the outer. Now this is absolutely typical of Sri Aurobindo Yoga. Discovery of the soul at the beginning, then you have to really start attending to the outer. And in order to attend to the outer, first thing which you have to do is empty out the outer from your being. Nirvana. Throw it out, blow it off, the outer. And make yourself an empty cup, a fully empty cup, big empty cup, so that the divine ananda, divine nectar can come and flood it, fill it up. That is important. So that is Shivananda. In other words, the body must be able to respond to the divine presence, divine power, divine love, divine beauty, divine joy. Then only there is the fulfillment, there is the proper manifestation of divinity in existence here. So this is absolutely Arvindonian, you see. So the canto is now moving towards that. So you can see therefore the difference between, in fact, in a way, you also see the difference between the yoga of Ashwapati and the yoga of Savitri. In the case of Ashwapati's yoga, I mean, there was no stipulation that he has to annul himself totally, that only God be. In the case of Savitri, it is necessary. Because the objectives of the two yogas are different. The objective of Ashwapati's yoga is to bring down the divine power that she works here in this creation. Savitri must take the mortal birth and do her work. In order to bring her down here, whatever yoga is required, that is what we have in Ashwapati's yoga, to bring down the divine power. She is going to do the rest. What rest she is going to do? She will do all these things, yoga, etc., etc., etc. And finally, she has to conquer death. Conquest of death is not a stipulation in the yoga of Ashwapati. The stipulation is to bring down the divine power, and she will do the rest of the thing. Or what Sri Aurobindo wrote to Motilal Roy around 1912, immediately after his coming to Pondicherry, he says that there are two paths. One is the Vedantic path, and the other is the Tantric path, the occult path, and the spiritual path. He says that my yoga at the moment is Vedantic path, the spiritual path. By ascension, you bring down the divine force. That is yoga. The Tantric path, he says that, will begin only when the mother comes. That happens tomorrow, 29th March, 1914, you see. Tantric path. And unless she comes here, the Tantric path cannot begin. And the prayers and meditations already reveal that. The psychic opening, bringing down the supermind, the divine presence in the soul and all that. You already had that thing before she met Sri Aurobindo, before she came here. It has already come. And she had already learned occultism from none other than Theon himself, who the mother says was the incarnation of death. So from death himself he is learning the knowledge of life. The mantra of life, it is she found under his guidance, you see. So that is the Tantric path. Now, in other words, now it is that death she has to conquer. She has to conquer now Theon himself, basically. And what tremendous respect, great regard she has for Theon. She has not said even one word anywhere which will be kind of demeaning to him. She has always praised him very greatly, very highly, you see. So the question is, mother was following that path already, and she has learned all the occultism. Then was Sri Aurobindo devoid of that? All right, mother will do that part, okay, but was it devoid of that? No. See, when the mother says that it is Theon who had told her about the story of creation, the four powers who went far away from the divine source and separated. She even already knew that. He already knew all that, you see. Those things. And we have a number of descriptions of that in Savitri, how the four powers separated and cut themselves off from the divine source, and how the whole thing started, you see. In one place, Mother says, according to Theon, it is falsehood who has given rise to death. Falsehood is the cause of death. And she says, but according to Shrebandu, it is death who is the cause of falsehood. So, if you have to remove falsehood, you have to remove death. That is what it means basically, you see. Now, how that happens, we don't know. I mean, I can't see. Impossible. Impossible. But from a kind of logic, we can see the relevance of death being the cause of falsehood. Not falsehood the cause of death. Because from Savitri itself, if falsehood was the cause of death, Savitri's yoga should have been to conquer falsehood and not death. The whole thing should have been that way. You should have been to conquer falsehood and not eliminate falsehood. Then death will automatically go. But her thrust is entirely to go at the root of things, knock off death, falsehood, etc., automatically will disappear. So she not only goes by what she even says, she is practicing it, she is following it, she is pursuing it. Death as a cause of falsehood. So it is in that context now a crucial stage has arrived in the yoga of Savitri. Soul is now fully charged with the divine presence, with the divine power. Maha Kundalini has got established herself in the soul of Savitri, and it is she now who is going to work. But for death, it's no big deal. Mahatma is there, all right, keep it with you. But what about the nature? What about ignorance? What about physical, the inconscient stuff which is there with you? What about that? It is that which is in possession of death. And she has to abandon that. She has to give that thing first to the Supreme Himself. Please take it away from me. And come down and live in my outer physical being also. A routed sullen rearguard of retreat, sullen, not happy, routed rearguard. See, this is a description of the physical nature to some extent. It has also some relevance to what we have seen in the previous canto. There is one a new proximity, etc. In the slow process of the evolving time, what we have seen, it is a connection with that also. Rearguard, the part of the army which protects from behind, so that enemy does not come and attack from behind. Of retreat, the last rain is happening in the rainy season. The monsoon is about to be over. The last rain has fled murmuring across the woods or failed. A sibilant whisper mid the leaves, and a great blue enchantment of the sky recovered the deep rapture of its smile. Now, this whole description means Savitri's yoga is coming so to say, to its fruition, to its completion, when the rainy season is practically over. The last rearguard, etc., the last rains had come. Now, immediately after this realization, within a few days, Satyavan is to die. So I have not been able to resolve to myself whether the death of Satyavan occurs after the rainy season or in the summer. Because not much time is given between her yogic siddhi here and the death. Unless you say that all right, rain has passed and then it moves on further and then she has to wait till the summer to come, for more seasons to come, you see. So that could be one difficulty. But then we can also say that Savitri had actually begun her yoga more or less at the beginning of they being together, more or less immediately after the marriage. And this process is going on for a few months, and then finally comes the rainy season. She has got the nirvanic siddhi, and then now she is ready to face death. So that could be the sequence in which things were happening. Still, the time sequence is not yet very clear to me how it is happening, you see.